Hello everyone, this is Onetoni. Welcome to my channel. It's another brand new day here in the countryside of Korea. The sun is shining and walking in this not so crowded place really brings peace to the soul. Join me today and see the beauty of nature here in the countryside as we talk about interesting things about Korea. For those who are new to my channel, this channel talks about Korean culture, Korean way of life, places to visit in the countryside, and I am a married immigrant here. So my channel also talks about the way of life of married immigrants here in the countryside of Korea. Today, I will talk about Korean etiquette, which I think is very important to know and learn before coming here. If you are planning to visit Korea soon, this video is right for you. There are certain rules of etiquettes, Korean customs and traditions that every foreigner should know, since these things had been built in their culture, and you will be surprised that they are quite different from what other countries are practicing. I'm sure most of the Koreans will accept some of these cultural mistakes because you are a foreigner. But I think if you prepared yourself knowing their culture before coming here, it will give a positive impressions of you, and most probably this will increase the chances of you being invited in their homes or in any situations in the future. So let's talk about it. What are these Korean etiquettes, the do's and the don'ts here in Korea? First, let's talk about the Korean greetings. Bowing in Korea is used as a social interaction, made formal or casual one, meaning bowing is a part of Korean way of life when greeting a person. In some situations, instead of bowing, Koreans also use the shaking of hands. But take note, it has a little twist from the standard handshakes that we are used to. If you are watching Korean dramas, you will notice that when Koreans shake hands, they would slightly bow. If you are curious, I will tell you why. When a younger person or a person with a lower rank greets an older person or a person of higher rank, that person should slightly bow, and when shaking hands, to show respect. But in a given situation, when a Korean gives you a polite bow when shaking your hands, this you must do the same to return the gesture. To be safe, it is better to handshake and slightly bow to a person who is older or of higher rank than you, even if they won't do the same. You can't tell a person's age most of the time upon your first meeting. To be safe, it is better to use your two hands when shaking hands instead of using a one-hand handshake. The one-hand handshake is only used by a person of higher rank to someone of a lower rank to him. So if you use a one-hand handshake to a person older than you, or a person with a higher rank than you, it is considered rude in Korea. Putting your one hand in your pocket while shaking hands is also considered rude, so take note. There is the saying that the most pleasant and the sweetest thing to hear is when you hear your name being called. So we tend to address a person through his name. I agree. I love the sound of my name. But this doesn't apply here in Korea. In Korea, addressing a person is based on the social structure, which means that you just can't call a person by their names anytime you want. You can call a person by his name if you are sure it is appropriate to do so. What about if you are not sure? Well, the safest thing to do is to ask that person how they would like to be called the first time you met. There are times they will give you the English version of their names to save you from using the more complex names and titles. If he wants you to call him Mr. Park or Lee, then by all means call him that. It is accepted and it is considered polite in the Korean customs. If he is married, don't presume that his wife will be Mrs. Park or Mrs. Lee as well. Because here in Korea, the wife doesn't follow the husband's surname. It is only the kids that will get the father's surname. It is common to exchange business cards here in Korea. By so doing, it gives a quick information of the other person's possession, title, and rank. So after the handshaking and greetings done, while you are still standing, you should politely hand a business card over with two hands, and I'm sure you will be reciprocated. Rule number 1, always remember that the business card represents that person, so do not put the business card in your pocket or bag right away, for it is considered rude here in Korea. Instead, take a few moments to review the names and titles. If you are sitting down, place it on the table in front of you. Before, I was very fascinated by the act of giving gifts here in Korea. And later on, I've learned that gift giving represents the importance of the relationships established between the two persons or families. So gift giving is always welcome. However, the giver should always take into considerations the following. Do not give expensive gifts to someone whom do you think cannot give you or reciprocate the gift you gave accordingly. In my experience here, the rule of give and take applies. So give gifts that you think the other person can reciprocate. Second, you can wrap the gifts nicely in red or yellow wrapping papers. For here in Korea, these colors are considered royal colors. Some Koreans will use the colors pink or yellow, which symbolizes happiness. Another word of caution, do not sign the card using a red ink pen. This color is the sign of bad luck when used to write the person's name in red. If you happen to visit a Korean home, you could bring fruits, flowers, and you can even bring good quality chocolates with you. Just present the gifts with your two hands when giving. Actually, gifts are not opened when they are received. The opening is done later. So I hope I have given you some ideas of some of the etiquettes that you should observe while you are here in Korea. There are still lots of them which I will be sharing with you in the future. Also, I hope you like the scenery as well. This is a Buddhist temple here in my place. After being discharged from the hospital, I went straight here. Just want to enjoy the peacefulness of the place and enjoy the sun and the mountain. Places like this always gives me calmness and being close to my Creator. It gives me the feeling of gratefulness of God's given life. Though it will be a long battle for this illness, I will give it my best shots, not feeling sorry for myself, but always be grateful for the continuous blessings that comes my way. After all, no one lives a life without the blemishes of hardships and trials. It's time to say goodbye. Thank you so much for your continued support to my channel. Onitani will always be grateful and will always look back to all of your help and support. To all of my mentors, my followers and subscribers, friends who come to my premieres, and most of all, to all the members of this channel, thank you so much. Sending you all hugs from Onitani. Bye everyone! 안녕! 사랑합니다!